Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Akshay BD, and I'm going to talk about how we. That's a really bad picture, but okay, great. I want to talk about the organizing unit of the of building a city, and I think we all know how to build companies. There are playbooks on how to build companies. But now people are building billion-dollar communities, and those don't have a playbook. That's an emergent phenomena that is only possible because we found a way to create money on the internet. So a lot of the reason this crowd is adjacent to crypto is because a lot of things that crypto does makes it possible to build new cities, at the highest level, securing funding to do that. And that's why we're sort of ideological compatriots. And I want to share a few lessons in having seen the growth of a blockchain ecosystem that apply directly to building a city, because it's much like building a city. If you're building a city, you have a bunch of land, you're waiting for people to come and, you're inviting entrepreneurs into your city to build the hotels, the roads, the restaurants, and you want to make it easy and incentivize folks to move to your city. Very much like a blockchain, where you have a bunch of block space and you're trying to invite developers to come and build, the DeFi rails and the marketplaces and other sort of products that are user facing. So those two are somewhat related, and I think there's a bunch of interesting lessons that we have learned that I would love to walk through. Okay, so we started. I helped sort of start a community called Superteam, which is a community of the most talented people in about 15 countries around the world. We started off in India originally, and I want to define community quite narrowly because it gets thrown around a lot and it's very hand-wavy. But I define community as a group of people who organize labor and capital toward a common mission. Now that sounds an awful lot like a company that also organizes labor and capital toward a common mission, but what binds a company is your company's legal structures. What binds a community is the culture. And it's soft power that actually is the ability for you to create soft power, and a common culture is what produces those outcomes. That's why you'll see one of the most successful communities is actually a community of Bitcoiners. They have one goal, which is to buy and hold. Okay? And that is very hard to do globally across the world within this network of people, to just get everybody to do one thing. And they're also like libertarians, so you can't tell them to do anything. And they've all somehow found a way to agree on the one thing that makes it the most valuable asset, right? And so can you go beyond that? Like, if you start a YouTube channel or Twitter, all you can get your audience to do for you is like, share, and subscribe, maybe comment. Can we use the internet to do richer verbs, like create, build, organize, invest? And what crypto allows is just unlocks a bunch of new verbs that allows for richer coordination on the internet. And that's sort of what I've spent the last 4 years of my life on. So the first one, so we started in India. We just went to a bunch of developers and said, look, there is this new single global state machine called Solana. Anybody can contribute to it. And we just started putting up bounties for work. And so one of the ways I like to think about a community is you want a community of not users, but producers. Before your city can have citizens, it needs to have the folks who will come and build the buildings. So we were trying to attract those. And there was just a bunch of folks ranging between the ages of 14 to like 40 who just naturally were drawn to this new idiosyncratic technical architecture, and they wanted to contribute to it. And I'm a lawyer by training. I have no idea of half the things that these folks are talking about. But what was most interesting to me is there's a right brain part of me that understands that organizing people is interesting, and this was a new emergent internet native organizational structure that we now loosely call community. And they were all contributing to this open source protocol and earning money globally. And so, the one thing that we measure is GDP, which is the amount of money people have earned through the communities. And these are some of the metrics we track. I don't think I'll have time to talk through all of them, but I want to touch on one core thing. We found like 14, 15-year-old super talented developers who were like trapped in the default system of school, etc. And I like to say you don't need the H-1B visa anymore because you now have the TCP/IP visa. Because it used to be that you have to go and move to the US to get job opportunities that really suit the scale of your ambition. But today you can download a browser extension and you can start earning in dollars and potentially capital assets as well. And I think the act of building a city will be characterized by these kinds of bounties that start with small things. Maybe you organize a meetup, maybe you attend a meetup, then you organize one, and then richer forms of collaboration through like an open bounty system. So I would encourage everybody to go check out some of the work we do at Superteam. We have chapters around the world, so if anybody is here like thinking of how to get like a skyhook that pulls you out of your local economy into a global one, then you should go check out there's hundreds of thousands of dollars available for people, for anybody who can put their fingers on a keyboard and code or content come out the other side. You're already a digitally native, sort of potentially productive person on the internet. So I'd check it out. We're across Malaysia, Vietnam, India, UK, Germany. It's the mini Silicon Valley in all these countries, but organized for specifically around crypto startups. And then we have a portal called Earn, where, I'm sorry, I think I'm going over. I'm just being mindful of time. I can't read the monitor. Okay, so we have a portal called Earn, which is where these folks congregate. So go find your compatriots who are also earning on the internet. It's called earn.superteam.fun, and you'll find a bunch of folks who are living a remote life and earning in sort of capital assets and US dollars around the world. Balji has this quote: decentralization is not the absence of leaders, but the abundance of them. And what you want essentially is community leaders who will go faster than they ever would if they were part of a company structure. So that's what we try to do and build. And I'm going to wrap that up with a QR code. If you scan that, it'll go land on the Earn platform. Thank you very much for having me.